نحن أصحاب المعاني لسنا أصحاب الألفاظ. الألفاظ الجوفاء لا تجدي. انظر إلى المعنى.
It's a very, very important topic. It's to do with Muslim unity. It's to do with the methodology of calling to Allah. How do we rectify the society? How do we rectify the ummah? How do we bring the hearts together? And in fact, I wanted to give in fact, this methodology that we spoke of is what the Messenger of Allah himself was ordered to say in the Quran. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ أَنَا وَمَنِ اتَّبَعَنِي. Say, Allah ordered the messenger to say, this is my path. This is at the end of Surah Yusuf. I think it's verse 106. Say, this is my way. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي أَدْعُو إِلَى اللَّهِ. I call to Allah عَلَى بَصِيرَةٍ, upon insight and knowledge. I and whoever follows me. I and whoever follows me. Right? And likewise, Allah Azza wa Jal, He also said in Surah Ali Imran, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold on to the rope of Allah, all of you together. Hold on to the rope of Allah, all of you together. وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. And do not split, do not be divided. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. And remember the favor of Allah upon you when you were enemies, and then He softened and united your hearts. He brought your hearts together, and you became, by way of Allah's favor and bounty, brethren. Right? So in all of these verses, you can see the methodology of the prophets in calling the people to Allah, in rectifying the servant, in rectifying the land, and in calling to the true unity, the genuine unity. Because there's lots of speech today, these days, people speaking about unity and Muslim unity, and there's a difference between the true unity and a superficial, fake, shallow unity. Right? I'm going to give you, I was meant to give you an example. In fact, this actually will help to tie together some of the things that I mentioned. So I brought with me today a rope. You can see a rope here, right? And this is an intact rope. You've got different strands, and you can see it's sealed at the end. It won't come undone, right? And so this rope, when it's intact and you hold onto the rope, then you have a strong handhold, right? Right. So this is what we've been commanded to do. Hold on to the rope of Allah, right? So we first of all know what the rope is, and we call people to hold on to this rope, right? This is true unity. It's unity that brings unity of the hearts, that then leads to the unity of the bodies. Right? It's unity of the hearts first, then the unity of the bodies follows afterwards. That's how it is. That's the meaning of the verse. As Allah mentioned in that verse, that the companions were divided, they were all split. Allah brought their hearts together. Upon what? Upon Tawheed, upon the correct creed. And then they became brethren. Then there was the unity of the bodies. Right, okay. So this is the intact Islam. This is the Islam intact. There's no phrase, there's no splitting, there's nothing. It's just not gonna split. You see? So when you hold on to that, you are holding on to all of Islam. However, when there occurred in the Muslim nation, what occurred in the Muslim nation, first of all, the Khawarij appeared. Then the Rafida, Shia. Then the Qadariyya. Then the Murji'ah. then the Jahmiyyah, then the Mu'tazila, then the Rafidi Hishamiyya, then the Batini movements appeared, and then the Kullabiyya, and then the Karramiyya, and then the Ash'ariyya, and then the Maturidiyya, and then the Salimiyya, so on and so on and so forth, whatever. So what's really happening here is, so the rope of Allah Azza wa Jal, well, you have this strand like this now, and then you have this strand here, then you have this strand here like this. Then these strands, they split amongst themselves. So you have the Ahlul Kalam, or you have the Jahmi here, disputing with the Mu'tazili here, disputing with the Kullabi here, disputing with the, Ash'ari here, right? And so we have all of these strands, and as you go through the century, you have every Tom, Dick and Harry with a doctrine, with a creed, with a movement, with a, all based upon a deviation in creed and methodology, right? So this is what you have. Every one person holding on to this strand here, he takes something of the truth and splits it from the truth and then gives it a different interpretation. He turns it into an issue of creed, and then he calls people around it, and now we got someone holding on to this, and we've got another one holding on to this, and another holding on to this, right? Is this the rope of Allah? We've been commanded to hold this thing here? Yes? No. Right. So when someone comes along and he says, you stick to that thing, you stick to that thing, and you stick to that thing, and you stick to that thing, is this the unity that Allah and His Messenger called to in the Quran and the Sunnah? Is this a unity? Is this the unity we've been commanded with? Yes or no? It can't be, can it? Right? That's why the true unity is only when we first agree that this is the actual intact rope. This is the nature of the intact rope, right? So this person here has to abandon his false creed, right? So this is why it is impossible for there to be unity except upon the way of the Salaf, right? Except upon knowledge by which we know what is Tawheed and Sunnah from what is Shirk and Bid'ah. Right? We have to know these statements. We have to know what's what. This statement, this person or this group is saying, is it really from the intact rope, or is it? We have to resolve this issue first before we can even start speaking about unity. Do you understand? It's like, I'll give you another example to illustrate. Imagine there's a house, and well, there isn't a house, but there's foundations in the ground, and the foundations have cracks. There's a crack in that direction, and there's a crack in this direction. There's a huge gap and a crack in this direction, and a huge crack in that direction. So someone comes along and says, you know what, we just want to build a house. Let's forget the foundations and the cracks. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to cause splits and differences between us. Let's just build a house on top of this. Which sane builder does that? This person is a fool who does that, right? And this is the same similitude. The people who want to unite with true unity, which is the unity of the hearts, unity in creed, as a result of which the bodies will become united, they are the followers of the prophets and messengers who follow the way of the Salaf. And as for all these other people, you hear them, they have all these slogans, they have all these labels, and it's all emotion. It's all emotional, right? They see calamities taking place in the Muslim nation. They see war, they see poverty, they see injustice, they see displacement of whole populations, right? And they become affected emotionally by this, and they want to do something to help the ummah, as but you cannot call to Allah, you cannot rectify if it's built just on emotions and sincerity. It has to be upon knowledge, has to be upon ilm, has to be upon basira, upon insight. So these people with affected by their emotions, then they start brandishing these slogans about unity and a united ummah and a one ummah and this and whatever, and the whole focus is just bringing bodies together. I said bodies, not hearts. Bring bodies together, Right? So they're not interested whether this one, this one's a Jahmi, this one's a Khariji, this one's a Takfiri, this one's this one Hizbi. Not bothered. This is just it diverts from what is more important. Not realizing that the very calamities and the hardships that they are complaining about are caused by the very innovations and misguidance that they want to ignore and throw under the carpet. Right? So this is not unity what they're calling to. This is just emotions that they are following, and they have a very superficial understanding of these affairs. And so this is why we say again that it is impossible for there to be unity and rectification except by uniting upon the way of the Salaf. And indeed Imam Malik rahimahullah himself, he said, the latter part of this ummah will not be rectified except by that which rectified the earlier part of this ummah. Alright? So inshallah we finish and close on that note.